Hello, everybody. Greetings from Atlanta. I expect my accent is strange to some of you. So tune your ears while I begin with a story. It's been around for a while, so if you've heard it, please just bear with me because it makes a point. Two women met in line at the pearly gates. Said Mary to Nancy, how did you get here? Replied Nancy, it was very, very cold. I went to sleep and froze to death. What about you? Said Mary, well, I came home unexpectedly, sure I would find my husband with another woman. I burst into the living room, but there he sat calmly, reading his paper, smoking his pipe. I rushed upstairs, looked in all the rooms, in the closets, under the beds. I ran downstairs, looked in every room, in the closets. I ran outstairs, into the garage, under the car, in the tool shed, back inside, down to the cellar, and back upstairs, and I had a heart attack there on the cellar stairs, and I died, and here I am. Pity, said Nancy, if you had just opened the freezer door first. Well, my intent here is to open a door, maybe in a way you've not heard before, and to invite you to walk through that door into a world that you may not have seen before. It is the door to possibility. If I were introducing myself in my own way with respect, Ted, I would say simply that I'm a husband, father of 2 daughters, grandfather of 5 terrific grandchildren, soon to be a great-grandfather, and I am an industrialist. Now, some would say a radical industrialist, but I am as competitive as anybody you know, as profit-minded as anybody you know. And in this connection, I would not miss the opportunity to thank customers who are in this room for their business. My 53-year-long working life has been spent in industry. I founded my company, Interface, from absolute scratch, from just an idea 36 years ago, 1973, to produce carpet tiles in America for the emerging office of the future. Today, it's a billion-dollar global producer of carpet tiles and broadloom carpets, primarily for business and institutional interiors, but also carpet tiles for the home under the brand name Floor, misspelled F-L-O-R. We operate production facilities on 4 continents with sales in 110 countries. If I were preaching, I would offer as my text the words of Albert Einstein. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Now, come through that door into my world, but this, I would say, is not your typical door into industry, and my industry is probably different from most everybody's here. Come into a rather unusual, petro-intensive industrial setting and see another example of sustainability in action. This radical industrialist passion for the last 15 of those 53 years. The point of this visit, again, to gain a sense of what is possible in a highly challenging industrial setting. But to gain the most from the visit, you must be prepared and willing to think analogously about your own organization. So I invite you to apply what I offer here, both explicitly and implicitly by analogy. This is about the new thinking that Dr. Einstein suggested. It is also about what sustainability begins to look like once we get past the definitions and set out to transform petroleum-intensive plunderer of the earth on the factory floor and in the design studio. A mechanical engineer is commissioned to design a new production line to produce the same product at the same rate that as a production line he designed and built 10 years before. The process requires the pumping of a lot of viscous liquid. This time he designs it to use 93% less horsepower, 1/14 as much. Well, how can this be possible? Well, this time he specifies big pipes and small motors to pump the viscous material rather than small pipes and big motors. He arranges to install the big, short, straight pipes first and then install the production line rather than the usual way of installing the production line first and bending pipes here and there to fit them to the line. He has largely defeated the pump's enemy, friction. He now knows that friction varies inversely with the fifth power of pipe diameter, and every bend in a pipe further increases friction and decreases efficiency, as does distance, that is, pipe length. Doesn't every engineer learn these things in school? Apparently not. This is new thinking. And my source is Amory Lovins of the Rocky Mountain Institute. And yes, the entire production line costs less to build and less to operate than its counterpart built 10 years before. The engineer has practiced whole system optimization, new thinking, that has evolved from just 10 years before. A factory manager in Southern California, where there's lots of sunshine, muses over the possibility of using photovoltaics to produce some of the factory's electricity directly from sunlight. He scouts around, discovers that state assistance is available for just such projects, and he asks his accountant to work out the justification. But even with state assistance, the project doesn't pencil, according to the accountant, who's looking hard at investment and relative energy costs. But the manager doesn't give up. He asks his marketing and sales counterparts, can you sell solar-made carpet? Something the world has never seen before. Without hesitating, they reply, bring it on. And today, 120 kilowatts of photovoltaic factory-generated voltage is connected to the California grid, producing electricity in such quantities that were the electrical current channeled to the tufting process of the factory, it would power the production of 1 million square yards a year of solar-made carpet, generating incremental sales that the accountant completely overlooked in his preoccupation with costs. Decisions about sustainability made in the round, including marketing, sales, and customers, and not the least, the value of leadership, are better decisions. This is new thinking, brought on by a receptive market, astute marketers, and the technical innovation of the new industrial revolution, the solar revolution.